This video is about she was his goddess, but loving her cost him his throne. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. ***, she was his goddess, but loving her cost him his throne. ***. The night was draped in a silken veil, the moon casting its ethereal glow upon the ancient forest of Eldergrove. Shadows danced among the trees, whispering secrets only the wind understood. It was here, beneath the watchful gaze of the moon, that the fates of Alaric and Lyra began to intertwine. Alaric, the elf of the Silver Moon Pack, stood at the edge of the clearing, his breath steadying as he gazed into the moonlit expanse. The air crackled with anticipation, a magnetic pull drawing him towards the heart of the forest. He was a leader, strong and revered, yet beneath the weight of his responsibilities, he felt an emptiness he could not ignore. "Alaric?" A voice sliced through his introspection. It was Bryn, his bidder, her brow furrowed with concern. "You we needed at the gathering. The pack is restless." He turned to her, his heart heavy. "I know, Bryn, but tonight the night feels different." "Different how?" Her eyes drilled into his, searching for answers. "You can't afford to be distracted. You're alpha. Being alpha means nothing if I can't find my purpose." He looked past her, yearning for something more than the obligations tethering him to the earthly realm. Bryn sighed, frustration lining her features. "Your duties must come first, the pack counts on you." "I know." His voice was low, barely above a whisper. "But what if my heart leads me elsewhere?" Before Bryn could respond, a sharp howl echoed through the night, sending shivers down Alaric's spine. It was the call of the moon, summoning him. He felt an instinct stir deep within, a primal awareness that something was about to change. "Go," Bryn urged, stepping aside. "The pack needs you." With a nod, Alaric broke into a sprint, his powerful legs carrying him towards the gathering. The moonlight illuminated the path, each step filled with a mix of urgency and fear. He entered the clearing, finding his pack gathered around a blazing bonfire, their faces illuminated by flickering flames. "Alpha!" The crowd roared, their voices a chorus of loyalty and reverence. Alaric felt the weight of their expectations as he stepped forward, his chest swelling with pride. "Tonight, we honor the bond of our pack." Alaric called out, his voice resonating with authority. "Together, we are unbreakable." But even as he spoke, his gaze drifted beyond his packmates, searching for her. Lyra, the enchanting omega of her rival pack, stood across the clearing, surrounded by her own people. Her golden hair caught the moonlight, flowing like a river of silk, while her vibrant green eyes shone with a warmth that made his heart race. "Lyra?" The name slipped from his lips like a prayer, his breath hitching as their eyes locked. In that moment, the world around them faded. Nothing else existed but the magnetic pull that drew them together. "Alaric." The way she spoke his name sent sparks of longing through him. He felt the walls of pack loyalty crumbling, the weight of destiny pressing upon them. But before they could bridge the distance, a figure stepped between them. Darius, the alpha of the Minchdo pack, glared at Alaric, his expression a mask of possessiveness. "What are you doing here, Silver Moon?" His voice dripped with disdain. "Celebrating the unity of our packs, Darius." Alaric maintained his composure, but a primal urge surged within him to protect Lyra. "Unity, or is it the reckless pursuit of forbidden love?" Darius scoffed, his words slicing through the air. Lyra flinched at Darius' accusation, her eyes darting between the two alphas. "Darius, please. Stay out of this, Lyra." Darius' voice was sharp, but Alaric saw the flicker of fear in her gaze. It was a reminder of the dangerous dance they were forced into, a battle between duty and desire. "Step aside, Darius," Alaric growled, feeling the heat of his wolf rising to the surface. "This is not just your territory." "Not just my territory? You think you can roam into my pack as domain and claim what is mine?" Darius ceased, stepping closer. Alaric's fists clenched at his sides. "Lyra is not a possession to be claimed. She deserves freedom, not a cage." Lyra stepped forward, her voice trembling yet fierce. "I am not a pawn in your rivalry. I deserve a choice." Tension crackled like lightning, drawing the attention of both packs. Alaric felt his heart race, aware of the stakes. Their love was forbidden, a fire that could consume them both. "Lyra," he said softly, reaching out to her. "You know our bond is more than this rivalry. It is destiny." "Destiny?" Darius laughed bitterly. "This is nothing but a fantasy, Alaric. She belongs to my pack." Lyra shook her head, tears glimmering in her eyes. "I belong to no one but myself. I choose my own fate." "That is not how it works," Darius snapped, his voice low and menacing. You'll regret this, Lyra. You cannot defy the will of the Alphas. Alaric stepped forward protectively, his wolf surging at the challenge. You will not threaten her, Darius, not while I am here. The air thickened with tension, a storm brewing on the horizon of their lives. Alaric could feel the pack's anticipation, their loyalty hanging by a thread. The consequences of their actions loomed like dark clouds, threatening to unravel everything he had built. Enough. A voice rang out, cutting through the chaos. It was Eldra, the elder of the Silverman pack, her presence commanding respect. This conflict will lead to destruction. We must find a way to coexist. Darius narrowed his eyes. Coexistence is impossible when love flourishes between enemies. Alaric's heart raced at Eldra's words. But love can unite us, if we let it, he argued, his gaze locked on Lyra's. Love, or a foolish dream? Darius hissed. You were both blind to the danger. A heavy silence fell as Alaric struggled to find the right words. If our love is a threat, then let us face it together. Lyra is not just an amigo, she is my muse, my heart. Lyra's eyes sparkled with hope, but fear also etched across her features. What are you saying, Alaric? I am saying that I'll fight for you, for us, no matter the cost. His declaration echoed in the stillness, a promise sealed beneath the moonlight. Foolishness, Darius spat. You were risking everything, Alaric, your throne, your pack. Alaric's jaw tightened. The throne built on fear is no throne at all. I'd rather lose it all than deny my heart. The choice is yours, Alaric. Eldra spoke gently, her wisdom guiding the stormy waters. But remember, love comes with sacrifices. As the words hung in the air, Alaric felt the weight of destiny settle upon his shoulders. The path ahead was fraught with danger, betrayal lurking in the shadows. Yet, with Lyra by his side, he felt the flicker of hope ignite within him. Whatever awaits us, I'll face it with you, he whispered, stepping closer to Lyra, their hands brushing in a fleeting moment. I'll fight for our love, even if it costs me everything. As the moon hung high, illuminating their resolve, Alaric knew the battle for love had only just begun. The echoes of their hearts intertwined with the ancient magic of the forest, a melody that whispered of fate and destiny, promising a story that would transcend the bounds of their worlds. But as he looked into Lyra's eyes, he felt the pull of the past and the weight of the future, knowing that every choice would lead to unforeseen consequences. The stage was set and the dance of love and betrayal had only just begun. As the moon bathed the clearing in silver light, the tension between the two alphas crackled like a live wire. Alaric felt the weight of his pack's eyes upon him, and the stakes were higher than he ever imagined. Alaric, don't be a fool. Bryn's voice was a mix of urgency and desperation. She stepped closer, her eyes darting to Lyra, who stood trembling yet defiant. You were risking everything for a love that could destroy us all. I am risking everything to save what is worth fighting for, Alaric countered, his heart thundering. He felt Lyra's warmth radiating toward him, grounding him even amidst the chaos. Love is not a weakness, it is our greatest strength. Darius scoffed, folding his arms, a sneer playing upon his lips. Strength, you think love can protect you from the wrath of a pack? You'll lose your throne, Alaric. You'll lose her too. Alaric's gaze locked onto Lyra, whose eyes shimmered like emeralds in the moonlight. I won't let fear dictate my choices. I will not let her slip away, not this time. Then prepare for war, Darius spat, his voice low and menacing. Because I'll fight to keep what is mine. Lyra stepped forward, her voice steadied, despite the tremor in her hands. I am not a possession, Darius. I choose whom I love, and that choice is Alaric. The silence that followed was tangible, a collective gasp echoing through the clearing. Alaric's heart soared, a wild mix of hope and dread coursing through his veins. He took a bold step toward her, reaching out with a trembling hand. Lyra, he murmured, feeling the pull between them strengthen as their fingers brushed. You are my destiny, my guiding star. Destiny? Darius mocked, shaking his head. What a naive notion. You think love can conquer all? ULLC, I won't allow it. Alaric's voice dropped to a growl. You think you can control her? You were mistaken. Enough. Eldra's voice resonated through the clearing, silencing the growing storm. This is not the place for quarrels of the heart. We must seek a resolution before the moon wanes. The elder stepped forward, her presence commanding respect. We cannot deny the bond that has formed between you, but we also cannot ignore the consequences of your actions. Alaric glanced at Lyra, whose expression was a mix of uncertainty and determination. The world around them felt suspended in time, the weight of their choices pressing heavily upon their hearts. What do we do, Eldra? Lyra asked, her voice laced with vulnerability. How can we unite our packs, despite the rivalries that divide us? Aldra's gaze softened as she looked between Alaric and Lyra. You must prove to both packs that love can transcend boundaries. A challenge must be issued, one that will test the strength of your bond. Alaric's heart raced. What kind of challenge? A test of unity, Elder replied, her tone grave. You will face the trials of the Elder Grove. Only by completing them together can you hope to earn the respect of both packs. Should you fail, the consequences will be dire. The weight of her words settled heavily in a clearing. Alaric felt a surge of determination. We will face any trial together. I will not let fear dictate our fate. Lyra's eyes sparkled with hope as she turned to him. We can do this, Alaric. I believe in us. Darius sneered, clearly unfazed. You are both foolish to think this can end well, but if you wish to gamble with your lives, then so be it. As the night wore on, the gathering dispersed, the weight of the impending trials hanging over them like a storm cloud. Alaric and Lyra found themselves lingering under the ancient trees, the air thick with tension and unspoken words. Were you ready for this? Alaric asked, brushing a strand of hair from Lyra's face. His heart ached for the challenges that lay ahead, knowing the dangers they would face. Lyra's gaze met his, unwavering. I am. Together, we can overcome anything. Their fingers intertwined, and in that moment the world outside faded away. The air shifted, an electric current crackling between them, binding their fates tighter than any chain. But the darkness lurked around the edges, ready to strike. As they turned to leave, a figure emerged from the shadows, a figure that made Alaric's blood run cold. Darius! Alaric growled, instinctively stepping in front of Lyra as the rival Alpha approached, a smug smile plastered across his face. Did you think I would let you walk away unchallenged? Darius taunted, eyes glimmering with malice. You think your love can shield you from the truth? What truth? Alaric demanded, fists clenched. The truth that your bond is a lie, Darius declared, stepping closer, his voice a low whisper. Lyra will never choose you over her pack. You are a fool to believe you can win her heart. Lyra's breath hitched. You are wrong, Darius. I love Alaric. Nothing can change that. Darius' expression darkened. Love, you think that means anything in this world? You are a naive Omega, caught in a fantasy. I will not let your betrayal stand. Before Alaric could react, Darius lunged forward, knocking Alaric to the ground. The world around them erupted into chaos as pack members rushed to intervene, the air filled with growls and shouts. Alaric? Lyra cried, her voice piercing through the chaos. Get up. With a surge of determination, Alaric pushed himself off the ground, instincts igniting his wolf. He faced Darius, eyes blazing with fury. This ends now. Darius laughed, a cold, bitter sound. You think you can defeat me? You are weak, Alaric, weak for loving your rival as Omega. I may be weak in your eyes, but my love for her makes me stronger than you will ever know. Alaric lunged, their wolves clashing in a flurry of fur and fangs. The battle erupted in the clearing, the tension of past grievances surfacing in every growl and bite. Each alpha fought not just for dominance, but for the very love that bound them to their destinies. Lyra watched, heart racing, knowing that each blow could alter the fate of their love forever. Stop, she cried, desperation lacing her voice. This isn't how it should be, you are tearing apart our futures. But the fight continued, rage fueling their instincts, each roar echoing through the ancient trees. As Alaric and Darius clashed, Alaric felt the primal power of his wolf surge within him, igniting every fiber of his being. With every strike, he fought not just for victory, but for Lyra's freedom, for the chance to build a life together. He could feel her presence in his heart, guiding his instincts, fueling his resolve. Yet, just as the tide seemed to turn in his favor, Darius managed to throw Alaric off balance, sending him crashing into the ground. Veins shot through him, but he refused to yield. Darius loomed above him, panting heavily. You'll never win her, Alaric. She is too afraid to choose you. No, Alaric asked, pushing against the ground. She is brave, and she has chosen love over fear. You cannot break that bond. With a final surge of strength, Alaric rose, summoning the power of his wolf. He lunged forward, launching himself at Darius with a fierce growl that echoed through the night. The impact sent them tumbling, and for a moment, the world around them faded into a blow of claws and fury. But Alaric's heart remained steadfast, fueled by the love that burned brightly within. He could feel Lyra's presence wrapping around him, a mystical bond that transcended the chaos. In that moment, he realized that love was not just a feeling but an unbreakable force, one that could withstand even the fiercest battles. As the dust began to settle, Alaric found himself pinning Darius to the ground, their breaths mingling in the cool night air. The world was silent, the weight of their struggle hanging in the balance. Yield, Alaric commanded, his voice low yet firm. Let this end here, for the sake of our packs and for Lyra. I will not fight you for her love, but I will protect what is mine. Darius' eyes flickered with defiance, but the fire dimmed as he met Alaric's unyielding gaze. "You re a fool," he spat, but the venom lacked conviction. "And you re blind to the truth," Alaric replied, letting the weight of his words sink in. "Love is not a weapon, Darius, it is a gift." In that moment, Darius' resolve shattered, and Alaric felt. Ashish she was his goddess, but loving her cost him his throne. Part 3. Alaric held Darius on the forest floor, the moonlight catching the glint of victory in his eyes. But it wasn't the triumph of battle that filled his heart. It was the realization that this conflict was more than just a clash of alphas, it was a testament to love's unyielding power. As Darius struggled beneath him, Alaric's breath was heavy, his heart racing. He locked eyes with Lyra, who stood at the edge of the clearing, her expression a mix of fear and hope. "Lyra," he called, feeling the need to reassure her. "I will always fight for you." Darius' snarled response broke through the moment. "You think this means you've won? You've only begun to unravel the truth, Alaric. Your love is a curse, not a blessing." "Love is never a curse," Alaric shot back, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins. "It is the very essence of life, and it binds us together in ways you can never understand." With a fierce grunt, Darius twisted beneath Alaric, forcing him to shift his weight. In a flash, Darius' claws grazed Alaric's shoulder, a reminder that the path they walked was perilous. "You'll regret this, Silvermoon. I will take back what is rightfully mine." Alaric felt the sting of betrayal in his chest, a reminder that their rivalry was not just about power, but about the heart of a woman who represented freedom from the bonds of their packs. He knew Darius' motives were rooted in fear, but that fear could easily turn to rage. "Lyra isn't yours to take," Alaric asserted, rising to his feet and shaking off the remnants of their struggle. "She chooses her fate, and her fate is with me. Don't you see?" Darius spat, pulling himself up, breathing heavily. "She is a pawn in your game. You'll destroy her." Lyra stepped forward, her heart pounding, echoing the tension that filled the air. "I am no one's pawn, I am my own destiny, and I choose love over rivalry." Darius' expression darkened, the shadow of anger flickering across his face. "You think they will accept you in the Silvermoon Pack? You think they'll bow to a betrayal of their alpha?" Alaric felt the weight of Darius' words settle over the clearing like a heavy fog. His pack had always regarded Lyra with suspicion, the bonds of tradition and loyalty ran deep. "They will see what we have," he declared, determination surging through him. "Together, we can forge a new path. Or you can lose everything," Darius challenged, a venomous smile creeping across his lips. "Your throne, your pack, and the heart of the Omega you claim to love." Alaric stepped closer, the distance between them charged with an intensity that could ignite the night. "If love requires sacrifice, then I am willing to pay the price." "Fool." Darius ceased, lunging forward. But Lyra intervened, placing herself between them, her voice strong despite the fear echoing in her heart. "No more fighting, no more bloodshed," she cried, looking into Alaric's fierce gaze. "You two have battled long enough, it is time to end the senseless cycle." "Lyra," Alaric breathed, feeling the bond between them shimmer, a tangible thread woven in the fabric of fate. "You don't have to." "Yes, I do," she interrupted, her voice ringing with conviction. "If we were to have any hope of uniting our packs, we must find a way to coexist, not just fight." Darius scoffed, folding his arms. "And how do you propose we do that, Lyra? By singing songs and holding hands? You live in a fantasy." "Enough." Alaric's voice boomed, silencing Darius. "They'll mention trials of unity. We will face them together as equals. If we succeed, our packs will have no choice but to accept our bond." Lyra's eyes lit up with hope. "Yes, if we prove our love is strong enough to withstand any challenge, we can change everything. We can bridge the divide." "Bridge the divide?" Darius echoed, his voice bitter. "You think that is possible? You're dreaming, Alaric. Love will not be enough to protect you." "Love is the most potent magic of all," Alaric countered, stepping toward Lyra, his heart swelling with emotion. "It has the power to heal wounds, to unite even the fiercest of foes." Darius' laughter rang hollow, echoing in the moonlit glade. "You will regret this. I will not allow you to turn my pack against me. The moment you threatened her, you lost the right to call her yours." Alaric growled, stepping forward. "This is no longer about you and your claims. It is about us." Lyra reached for Alaric's hand, her touch grounding him, fueling the fire in his chest. "We can do this, Alaric, together. Then let us set the stage for the trials," Alaric said, turning to face Darius. "You can gather your pack, we will face the challenges of the Outer Grove, and we will prove that love conquers all." Darius' eyes narrowed, calculating. Fine, but know this, if you fail, your defeat will be worse than you can imagine. Enough of your threats. Alaric snapped, feeling the protective instinct for Lyra rise within him. I will not let you intimidate us. Our love is our strength, and it cannot be broken by fear. As Darius walked away, Alaric felt a weight lift, yet uncertainty lingered. He turned to Lyra, searching her eyes for reassurance. Are you sure you want to do this? Together, we can face anything, she whispered, her green eyes glimmering with determination. This bond we share is more powerful than any challenge. The next few days were a flurry of preparation. They spent hours training and strategizing, the bond between them deepening as they faced their fears and insecurities. With each passing moment, Alaric found solace in Lyra's presence. She was his anchor, his guiding star. But as the day of the trials approached, doubts began to seep into Alaric's mind. He could feel the weight of his pack's expectations resting heavily on his shoulders. What if I am not strong enough, he confessed one evening as they sat beneath the ancient trees, the moonlight casting a gentle glow around them. Strength isn't just about power, Lyra replied softly, her fingers brushing against his. It is also about heart. You have both, Alaric, trust in that. He sighed, pulling her closer, the warmth of her presence calming his racing thoughts. You be right, I just fear the consequences of failure. Then we won't fail, she promised, her voice steady. We're in this together, remember? Love can move mountains. As the night deepened around them, Alaric leaned down, capturing her lips in a tender kiss. It was a kiss filled with yearning, an unspoken promise that echoed the depth of their bond. But as he pulled away, a shadow flickered at the edge of his mind, a reminder that the road ahead was fraught with betrayal and sacrifice. Whatever happens, I want you to know her. A howl pierced the night, cutting through their moment, sending a shiver down Alaric's spine. It was a call to arms, a reminder that their fates were intertwined with the howls of their packs, echoing through the ancient forest. Tomorrow, he murmured, the weight of destiny heavy in the air. We face our trials, but know this, Lyra, I will fight for you, for us, until my last breath. Lyra smiled, her heart full, but uncertainty lingered in her gaze. And I will never waver, Alaric, you are my heart, my home. As dawn broke over Elder Grove, the world was awash in golden hues, yet darkness lurked in the shadows. Alaric stood at the edge of the clearing, the eyes of both packs upon him, the fate of their love hanging in the balance. Let the trials begin, he declared, raising his voice. We will stand together, united in love, against the challenges that test us. As the first challenge loomed before them, Alaric took Lyra's hand, squeezing it tightly. Together, they would face whatever trials waited, their love a beacon that promised to illuminate even the darkest paths. But little did they know, betrayal was lurking in the shadows, and the trials would not only test their love but also the very foundations of their existence. And as they stepped into the unknown, the bond they shared would either forge a new destiny or forever change the course of their lives. Hashi was his goddess, but loving her cost him his throne. Part 4. The dawn broke over Elder Grove, the soft glow of the sun filtering through the ancient trees, casting long shadows on the ground. Alaric stood at the center of the clearing, flanked by the packs of Silvermoon and Moonshadow, their faces a mixture of skepticism and anticipation. The air crackled with tension, the weight of unspoken words pressing heavily on everyone gathered. Lyra stood beside him, her hand intertwined with his, a steadying force amidst the brewing storm. Are you ready? She whispered, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. Alaric turned to meet her gaze, drawing strength from the depth of her emerald eyes. I am. Together, we will show them our love is worth fighting for. He could feel the warmth of her hand, the bond they shared pulsing with an energy that promised hope. Eldra stood before them, the elder of the Silvermoon pack, her presence commanding and wise. The trials will challenge not only your strength but also your unity. You must prove that love can transcend the divisions of our packs, she stated, her voice echoing through the clearing. Love is not just a word, it is a commitment, Alaric added, glancing at Lyra. We are determined to bridge the rift between our packs. Very well, Eldra nodded, her expression serious. Your first trial is the trial of the heart. You will be tested on your ability to trust one another, even when faced with the darkest of fears. Darius stepped forward, a sneer on his lips. What a quaint notion. Love may drive them, but nothing can prepare them for the truth they will face. Enough. Eldra's voice rang out, silencing murmurs among the gathering. Let the trial commence. Alaric, Lyra, step forward. As they approached the center of the clearing, the air shimmered with magic, the ancient forces of Elder Grove coming alive. What will we face? Lyra asked, her heart racing. The trial of the heart reveals your deepest fears, Elder explained. Only by confronting them together can you prove your bond. Alaric felt a chill run down his spine as he nodded. We were ready. The ground beneath them trembled, and a swirl of mist enveloped them, dragging them into a realm that felt both familiar and eerily foreign. As the fog cleared, they found themselves standing in a vast expanse, a reflection of their innermost thoughts and fears materializing in the surroundings. Alaric? Lyra's voice quivered, her eyes wide with panic as she pointed. What? Before them, a vision took form, a darkened forest, filled with shadows that twisted and contorted into the figures of their loved ones, their faces morphed with doubt and betrayal. You will never be accepted, one shadow hissed, a familiar voice echoing in Alaric's ears. This is a test, Alaric reassured Lyra, squeezing her hand tighter. We must face it together. Together, she echoed, though uncertainty lingered in her eyes. Suddenly, the shadows began to close in, whispering accusations that pierced through their hearts. You will lose your throne, you will lose him. They echoed, each word a dagger aimed at their bond. Lyra! Alaric shouted, pulling her closer as he faced the encroaching darkness. These are lies, we are stronger than our fears. Lyra's expression shifted, determination igniting within her. We have faced the worst, she said passionately, her voice cutting through the chaos. And we will not let fear define us. As their combined voices rang out, a shimmering light burst forth, illuminating the shadows that had threatened to consume them. The darkness recoiled, revealing glimpses of hope, a future filled with laughter, unity, and love. The vision shifted, and suddenly, they stood in the silver moon pack-as clearing. The pack gathered around them, their faces varying from skepticism to hope. He is willing to fight for her, someone whispered. Alaric felt a swell of pride. Yes, I will fight for her, for us. His voice rang out like a clarion call, resonating through the hearts of those gathered. Lyra stepped forward, her gaze unwavering. And I will fight for him, we are destined to be together. The light radiated from their hands, entwining in a dance of magic and passion, a testament to their bond. The shadows began to dissolve, and as the mist lifted, they found themselves back in the clearing, surrounded by the astonished gazes of both packs. Eldra's wise eyes sparkled with approval. You have faced the trial of the heart together and emerged stronger. But Darius' sneer returned, his voice dripping with contempt. This was merely an illusion. You've not won anything yet. The next trial will be far more difficult. Enough of your games, Darius. Alaric snapped, feeling a dark undercurrent of rage swell within him. You will not intimidate us. The elder's gaze shifted to Darius. The next trial will be the trial of the wolf that will test your physical strength and your willingness to fight for one another. Alaric felt a rush of adrenaline. We are ready. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, the atmosphere thickened with anticipation. The next challenge awaited them beyond the clearing, a testing ground filled with obstacles that would push them to their limits. They entered the arena, the ground shifting beneath their feet, revealing a maze of thorny vines and towering boulders. We have to navigate this together, Lyra said, determination in her eyes. Stay close, Alaric urged, feeling the weight of the moment settle over them. As they began to navigate the treacherous terrain, obstacles sprang to life, thorns lashing out, trying to impede their progress. Alaric pushed forward, guiding Lyra around every corner, but the vines seemed to reflect their fears, wrapping tightly around them, threatening to separate them. Alaric! Lyra cried out, struggling against the vines. I can see. Hold on. Alaric grunted, his heart pounding. With a fierce growl, he tore the vines apart, forging a path to her side. I won't let go. We're in this together. Lyra's eyes sparkled with admiration, but the effort drained her. I am trying. With every ounce of strength, Alaric fought against the thorns that sought to bind them. He could feel the pull of the pack watching, their hopes resting on his ability to protect Lyra, to prove their love could withstand any challenge. Finally, as they approached the final obstacle, a towering boulder blocking their path, Alaric felt a rush of determination course through him. On three, we pushed together, he instructed, his voice steady. Okay, Lyra nodded, her breaths heavy but resolute. 1, 2, 3. With a powerful roar, they pushed against the boulder, the earth trembling beneath their combined might. The boulder shifted, and with one final effort, they sent it crashing to the ground, clearing their way. Exhausted but exhilarated, they stood side by side, breathing heavily. We did it! Lyra exclaimed, a mixture of relief and joy dancing in her eyes. Yes, we're unstoppable together! Alaric grinned, pulling her into an embrace. But their moment was cut short as Darius approached, his expression darkening. You think you've proven something. The real challenge lies ahead. Alaric's heart raced, sensing the tension in the air. What do you mean? Darius' smirk widened. The final trial will reveal the true depths of your love. You'll face a choice that could break you both. What choice? Lyra asked, her eyes narrowing. Darius' gaze turned sinister. You will be tested on your willingness to sacrifice for one another. It will demand everything. The air thickened with uncertainty, and Alaric felt a gnawing dread settle in his stomach. We will face it together, whatever it is. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the forest around them began to change. The trees twisted and morphed into dark specters, a haunting echo of their fears becoming real. The final trial awaited, shrouded in shadows that whispered of betrayal and sacrifice. Stay close, Lyra, Alaric urged, sensing the impending darkness. I will, she replied firmly, though her voice trembled with apprehension. As they ventured deeper into the shadows, the path twisted before them, revealing two separate paths, one leading to light, the other cloaked in darkness. You must choose, a haunting voice echoed from the depths. What does this mean? Lyra asked, panic rising in her chest. Alaric's heart pounded as he stepped closer to the light. We must choose a path that signifies hope. But what if it is a deception? Lyra countered, uncertainty shadowing her resolve. What if following the light leads us to our doom? Trust in our bond, Lyra. Alaric's voice was steady, filled with conviction. We have faced darkness together, and we will not falter now. As they stepped toward that